Ooh, my head is shining. Oh my goodness. We do need to work. Considering it's not exactly temporary, we really should. Well, I'm glad everybody gets to hear that. It's okay. Let's begin. So good morning. My name is Person, and folks will be coming online as we sit. And I do want to welcome you to the Temple Municipal Court. I'm actually going to say that again in just a moment because I'm seeing audio connect on lots of folks. Sometimes there's a delay. And so I do want to welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. Good morning. And my name is Judge Person. Today, this is the Temple Court. And what that means, if you can't hear me, I see people who can't hear me. Well, they can't hear me, so I probably can't counsel them about what to do. But usually your audio will connect. So what I do want to tell you is this is real court. This is the municipal court. And we're lucky to be able to just meet this way and not have to have everybody take off work and come to court. But I am Judge Person. Before we get started, I want to review some things with you that will help you know what your options are here in a court like this one. This is a Class C court, meaning that the cases filed here are Class C offenses. They result in the imposition of fines and costs, money. They don't result in jail time. Now, people can have warrants for failing to come to court. And if that's you, well, we'll have to try to address that. But the reason that you have a warrant is missing a court date or missing a deadline, okay? Unlike other types of offenses, like a Class B or a Class A, you don't get a warrant because of the accusation. You just get a ticket, and then you're ordered to come to court on a specific day, which would be on your ticket. It's written on the ticket where you sign, generally speaking. And then we have a court date. So most of you are just here on your court date. Some of you are folks who've missed the court date, and I'll just work with everybody the same way. I like to get everybody on the same page when I begin. And the way that I do that is to let you know your options. First, I want to tell you that when you're given that ticket, that is an accusation. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And a plea, when you give a plea, you're giving your answer or your response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Let me tell you what those mean and the direction those pleas will take you. And then I want to let you know your options for dismissal, your options for resolution, okay? So I'll do that really quick, but what that means is at the end of this kind of speech, I'm gonna start working with people. I did take note the order that people signed in on the meeting, and I'll keep you in that order and move forward that way. I'm also gonna have to identify folks who haven't identified themselves. Not everybody knows how to do this, but if you will go to the top of your screen where your picture is, and look, there'll be a little, there'll be like 3 dots. And you kind of have to land on your square to get that to happen. But when you click on the dots, you can drop down a little menu and it will allow you to rename yourself. If your name that you're using now isn't the name that is your name, for example, I have someone named Zoom user, and I don't know who that is. So I'll have to stop the court in a moment and figure out who that is. But if they wanted to, if they were able to, and some people can't, and that's okay, I'll work with you. But if you're able to land on those 3 dots and drop down and put your real name there, that's gonna help me pull your file, because right now we're watching and we're pulling files. And it'll help me pull your file, it'll help me get on the same page with you. So I see Zoom user has put their hand up. I'll just go ahead and ask you to unmute and tell me your name.
My name is Brady Mendenhall.
Okay, Mr. Mendenhall, great. I'm going to actually change the name on the screen for you, and I'll go ahead and lower your hand because I've answered that part. And then when it comes your turn, I'll actually answer questions that you have regarding cases and so forth. But for now, right now, I'm just going to work generally with everybody and then go ahead and work with people as they've appeared. So just held tight, pay attention, and it'll help you. So let me back up and just tell you those three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and if you plead guilty, you're actually saying, I did this. You're admitting the offense. And when you do that, we move right into sentencing. Guilty means I did it, just as charged. Not guilty is contesting the charge. You're asking ultimately for a trial. You're saying, I don't agree to be found guilty. It's really not an innocence plea. We don't have an innocence plea in America because you are not guilty until it's proven, or you change your plea. So the only way to be found guilty is if a jury finds you guilty, or if you plead guilty, or no contest. That's the only way to be found guilty. If someone came into court and refused to enter a plea, I enter a not guilty plea. I set a bond and start posting their case for trial. So there are different options, okay? But guilty means I did it, not guilty means prove it, okay? And when you do that, we're going to move the case not into sentencing, but into a pre-trial process and ultimately heading to trial. And there are folks on that docket today. I'm holding two dockets today, and we'll juggle back and forth. And this is how we always do it. Most courts do. So the not guilty folks that are here, I have made note too of your order, and I'll walk you through the steps. We're about to break that out into a separate room, and technology lets us do that. So we'll do that in just a moment. But not guilty means there's a pretrial on Zoom. You're here if you're on that docket today. And then the second meeting, which should have been set at the same time, is a live meeting here in the court for anything that's unresolved. Because at that point, we're talking about juries, we're talking about jury costs, we're talking about setting a bond, setting that case, and pulling a jury in and using the taxpayer dollar to get that case tried. Not a problem, okay, but there's a step, and it is a two-step process before we schedule trial. So just to note that, that's the direction not guilty will take the case. And then third plea option is no contest. Sometimes people might have told you nolo contendere. We don't have to use the fancy word. No contest is fine. If you plead no contest, you're just allowing me to move forward with you to find you guilty or sentence. And you have all the options that you do if you plead guilty, but without admitting or denying it. It's just saying, hey, I'm not contesting this. Let's move forward with sentencing. Okay. So if you plead guilty or no contest, I'm moving forward with sentencing. If you've already entered a plea, and that's already noted on the file, I'm not going to take your plea. I'm just going to take the case where it is, because I have folks in that position also. Okay, because I just take what I can do and help as much as I can, and work through the issues that might be making something difficult. So, for example, if you've pled guilty or no contest, the default is you just pay it and go, and record. There are exceptions to that, though, and most people wouldn't know those exceptions without just having them laid out to you. So let me tell you a little bit about that. I'm sorry, I've got folks logging in as we speak and logging out. They might be having technical difficulties, so we'll get to that shortly. So the default is pay it and it goes on your record. Okay, there are 4 exceptions to that, and I'll tell you what they are, and then I'll tell you quickly how they work. They are, if you have something that can be dismissed for compliance, that's called a compliance dismissal. If you have something that can be dismissed through a driver safety course, if you have something that gets dismissed through a deferred disposition, if you are eligible for teen court. Now, all 4 dismissal options require that you complete a process, okay? And if you miss dates and deadlines, sometimes you're not qualified to be in the program, or you miss the option. The first one, compliance, that's the easiest one. That one is where state law says, yes, the person did this, but they can get it dismissed if they do the following things. That's going to be something like your headlight was out. You didn't know it. You get stopped. You get cited for it. You come to court on time. There it is. You fix the problem. You pay a $10 fee. Case is dismissed. You save a bunch of money. Case is over. Okay. If you have something like that, I will tell you. Okay. You're welcome to ask about it. I'm not going to wait for your question. I'm just going to move forward and start trying to get you that dismissal. If you're not qualified, I'll just skip over that. Okay. Second thing, driver safety course option. Again, cheaper than paying the regular ticket. You still have to do some things to gain the option of dismissal. The first one is you're on time. Second is you've got a Class C license or similar. You cannot have a CDL. It needs to be a Texas license unless you are an active military or dependent. Okay. And in that case, you pay the court costs only. Every ticket has a court cost and a fine. Okay. And when I give you a number, I'm giving you the whole number. But when you do the driver safety course option, you only pay the court costs. The fine will go on hold. You'll have a window to get in a driving course and a driving record, and then I dismiss your ticket. As long as everything stays on time and you do the proper course and the proper record, turn it in. I dismiss the ticket. It doesn't go on your record, even though you've pled guilty or no contest. And the fine, I waive it. That's a really good option because one, and this is the public policy in play, it makes for a better driver. That's actually statistically a provable statement. Okay, and state law really reflects that policy that we want safer drivers. Two, you save money, which is really helpful. Most of us care about that. And three, you just never have it on your record. Okay, so if you qualify, I'll start seeing if you want to do that option. And if I'm pushing you to do that option and you don't want to do that option, please let me know. I assume people want to save money. I assume people care about their record. Sometimes people care about their record more than they care about their time. Sometimes people's time is just more important and they don't want to do that class, right? They don't. It's a 6-hour class. You can do it online or around town, but you have to do it. And some people don't want to do that. So if I'm pushing you to do something like that and you're saying, why am I being forced to do this? You're not being forced to do it. It's just me being a little excited about the option being available to you. And if it's not what you want, just speak up and let me know, okay? Because I carry those biases of really that people care about money and they care about their record. Okay, so that may be different for you and that's fine. Just let me know. So that's option 2. The third option is called a deferred disposition. It's unique in a Class C court because you can ask the judge for a deferred disposition. Deferred means delay. Disposition means to finish or make final. So what that means is you give me your plea, I delay your case, I put an order in place, and if you fulfill that order, I dismiss your ticket. It doesn't go on your record, okay? Deferred disposition. Here's the trick. Everybody always wonders, what are the tricks in court? What do you say? What's the right thing to say? And the answer is with a deferred, you ask at the time of the plea, guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred, okay? And the judge can say yes or no. If I say no, I'll tell you why. I rarely say no, but sometimes I do. I'm always open to it. I just have to, it's a case-by-case thing, but you must ask at the time of the plea. If you've already entered a plea, we can't get you there, okay? And sometimes people have advice from a friend who's been in a court. What's different is you can ask, you don't have to ask Madam Prosecutor, but you can if you're on the not guilty docket. You don't have to get on the not guilty docket to make that request of me, okay? And then fourth and finally is teen court, and you must be enrolled in school. You must be a high school student. Get anyone younger than that here. But I will work with you individually. Okay, so that's the 101. I don't have hidden other options. I don't have options for friends. Okay? If you're my friend, I have to get a different judge, actually. So these are what we have. Payment plans, yes, automatically 30 days. You can have a longer term payment plan, but you've got to fill out some paperwork. Or one of these 4 things, we'll have to sort out the financial part of it too, okay? So that'll just be part of it. Sometimes there are classes that you have to do if you have dismissal options, and I'll just talk with you about it. If you listen as I work with people, it will help, okay? And I'll assume people are listening, and I won't do the same things over and over and over again. I'll assume people heard, okay? So that we aren't here taking your entire morning, okay? Because the goal isn't to make it hard. The goal is to make it intelligent, okay? So now I'm gonna break out the pretrial room. And what that means is that I open a virtual room, and Ms. Warren is our city's prosecutor. Ms. Warren, if you'll give a quick wave to folks at home, and we will go ahead then, and I will send Ms. Warren an invitation to go to the breakout room. And we're starting with Joe Lingo. Mr. Lingo, you're going to receive an invitation to go join that breakout room. And Ms. Warren will actually meet you in that breakout room. And at that point, y'all will have a discussion that I won't hear. And well, now where is he? He was here. I know he's here. Let's see. I'm looking in my list. He was there. I think he might have gotten a disconnect or something happened. Hopefully he'll join back in. And when he does, I'll put him right back in line. So I will move on to Lavinia Lewis, who is also waiting for the pretrial docket. And Ms. Lewis, when you're done with that meeting, you're going to come back into this room, okay? And that you'll do that before you go for the day. So I'm sending that invitation. If you'll accept it, it should come pop up on your screen. And Ms. Warren should have her invitation. And Mr. Lingo will be next because I see him trying to get back in.
I didn't get an invitation.
It says you did. So let me try it one more time.
There it is. Thank you. Mhm.
Let me see if Ms. Lewis got an invitation. Well, she did. Okay, very good. And the next person in the pretrial room will be Mr. Lingo. And I need to identify a few people. And Mr. Lingo, just hold tight. You're going to be next in that pretrial. So real quickly, there were some people I couldn't identify. There was a person, let me see if that's still the case, and just named Julie. That appears to be gone. Let's see. We got Zoom user figured out, so I'll cross that off the list. I have a person just labeled iPhone, and I'm asking that person to please unmute and tell me who you are.
Hi, good morning. My name is Demetra Daniels.
Daniels, okay. I'm going to go ahead and relabel you from iPhone. And then I have a person labeled with a phone number, and the phone number is beginning with 254. And then if you're on the phone, labeled last three digits of the phone number would be 919. Could you please unmute and tell me your name? On the phone number ending.
Zeke.
Are you phone
Zeke.
number? Yeah, you're 912. What's your name, please?
Zeke Klipus.
Okay, Mr. Klipus. Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're 912. I will keep track of you now that I know who you are. And thank you, sir. There's also a person with a phone number ending in 919. And 919, could you tell me your name? So sometimes folks are just not queuing in, or maybe they just muted me. I don't know which it is. It becomes very unmeaningful if I can't figure out who you are. I won't be able to pull your file, but I'll leave it for now and come back to it. I won't spend all morning. Just a quick note, if I call your name and you're here, raise your hand. If I don't call your name, it means I already know you're here, but I'm missing these folks that I'm about to read off. If I read your name and you're really here, tell me. That might solve our problem too. Sammy Fletcher, are you here? Eric Hernandez, are you here? Peyton London, are you here? Michael Morales, are you here? Essie Neal, are you here? Yvonne Reyes Roca, are you here? So those folks will wind up with a warrant if they don't turn up soon, unless they've resolved their case somehow. So it's really a good idea to show up. Those of you who are here, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to begin the docket with Audrey Soto. I think you're still in the meeting. And if you'll try to get on the screen, Ms. Soto, and
Okay.
unmute, and give me a minute while I pull your file.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Soto, good morning. I'm Judge
Good
Person. And I did review the information that you submitted, and it looks like you're looking for more time to get your driver's license charge dealt with. Give me just a moment.
Yes,
There's a
ma'am.
restriction charge, And we've got restriction charges. Just give me one moment. And you're on time. So that's one of those first tiered things where time can fix the problem as long as you stay on time. And so, Ms. Soto, I can give you time. You have a test scheduled already for August 16th. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I can extend you past that date. Let's say no later than August 31st.
Okay,
And if
that sounds good.
you'll then bring in your license, you can pay the dismissal fees on those two cases. And then my next question is, have you taken a driver's safety course in the last year for purposes of getting a ticket dismissed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so August 31st, if you're able to pay your court costs when you bring in your license, plus those two dismissal fees, you can engage in that driver safety course option on the speeding charge if you want to do that. Let me find out your court costs real quickly.
Okay.
And then her two dismissal charges. So your court cost on the speeding charge, that ticket is $264. The court costs are $144. When you come in on the driver safety course date of August 31st or before is fine, or that date, you're not driving a car, are you?
No, I'm in the back seat with my dog.
Okay, very good. Sorry, I've had folks do that and I just have to put a stop to it. You can do the driver safety course option when you come in, if you want to do that on the speeding. And from the date you come in, you'd have 90 days to get back the course and the driving record, get a dismissal, and save $120. So you might consider that. To be ready for that, you would have the license and then your insurance and then the 144 on August 31st. And on that date too, you had two restrictions filed. I could dismiss both of them. I believe the cost for that $10 on each case. So $20 plus 144 will get you into the process of dismissing those three cases. Okay. What I need today is your signature on an extension, and I can send it to your email and you can print it and sign it and email it back, or you can swing by the court, which is going to work best for you.
I'll come by the court.
Okay, we'll have that extension at the window for you, okay?
Okay.
And I'm just going to make a note. When should we look for you?
It's in like 20 minutes.
Perfect. Sounds good, Ms. Soto. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your time and working with me.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Okay. I see y'all.
If I can, I do. All right. Thank you. I'll go ahead and remove you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. So on Mr. Fletcher, this one moment. I think he just never did. So I kept asking him to unmute. I see him there, but it's not going to work if he can't unmute. And he's on a phone, and there's a way that he does that. And I think it's you press a button or something. But oh, that'll work. That'll work. Because I've already decided that he can do community service. So we'll get his order ready and he can sign. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Michael Morales. I had it mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, sir, not you. I'm sorry. I was talking about Mr. Fletcher.
Oh, no, I just want to say that I was here, that you
Oh,
can.
yeah. I didn't call your name, but no problem. No problem at all. You're coming up. I assure you. But I had a gentleman that I was trying to unmute earlier on the phone, and he was having technical problems, and he talked to someone in the lobby, and we've got him squared away. That's what that was about. I definitely have you down. You were rather early, actually. And I'm going to get to you. I'm just kind of looking to see where you are. You are, oh, there you are. Yes, I did call you. Excuse me. You'll be coming up shortly, Mr. Morales. Absolutely. I saw you early in the meeting. Okay. So my next person is Diane Murray. And Ms. Murray, if you'll unmute and get your screen going if you can't, if you haven't already, and I will get your file pulled up.
Hello,
Morning, Ms. Murray. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good and you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Listen, I reviewed the information you gave me today, and I did make a note that you were pleading guilty to the offense of no insurance. And just one second, did we get a plea on the speeding? There is also a speeding charge from the same stop, and there is fines and costs of $254. On the speeding, how are you pleading?
I'm pleading guilty on it, but I think I spoke to the lady to bring in the 144 to
Okay.
do the defense's driving class, and I'll be doing that this Friday
Okay.
when I get paid, if that's okay.
Yes, I always like to double check that we're addressing everything and definitely have you extended until August 4th. So Friday will work very
Yes,
well.
ma'am.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Okay, and so on the insurance case, were you insured on June 30th?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, and are you insured now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how quickly did you get insured from like that stop? Did you,
About like 2 days, 2 or 3 days later. I
okay,
had to wait till I got paid.
sorry. I'm not able to dismiss that. Let me just look.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me. She said if I would have got it within 24 hours, then you probably would have dismissed it. But
Well, so I do have some, what I call, they're also compliance dismissals. They're not strictly speaking Texas law. They follow Texas law. They're not illegal, but the prosecutor and I have some handshake agreements that are written down for certain dismissals that we think are appropriate in our community. And so we have actually more options available in this court than, say, maybe another court. But and that one is normally, state law just says you either had it or you didn't. We allow once every 2 years if a person's insurance lapsed and they didn't have an accident and they don't have any other charges and they haven't had an insurance charge for over 24 months and they got it within 24 hours, we allow a dismissal. So I just was double checking to make sure that you're not qualified for some kind of dismissal. And unfortunately, you're not. That's all right. But did she have prior cases? No. Okay. So I can go ahead. Now, then my next thing is that you had requested to make payments, but I'm showing that would be, I'm sure you're sincere, of course, but I'm showing that I should instead be ordering community service. So I can do payments or I can do community service.
I could do community service.
Okay. And so it turns into 14 hours of community service. And that's going to be due in a month, which is by August. Actually, with the numbers up right now, let's do 60 days. September 28th, 2021 would be the latest to turn it in or to request an extension. And what we'll do next is I can email you the paperwork for that. And I just need a signature on one form. And what I would be sending you is a list of places where you can do the work and a timesheet to keep track of your hours, and then a list of instructions that tell you what I do and don't allow. For example, it must be a nonprofit. I have a list to start out with, but for some folks, the list doesn't work well. And so any nonprofit in the state of Texas that's a licensed nonprofit excuse me, a licensed nonprofit. You can do the work at any nonprofit and turn it in. The person supervising you can't be a family member, can't be connected to you. But as long as you're not getting paid, you can go to any nonprofit and get the work done. I have a starter list of places that I know are friendly to just everybody calling, right? And so you can start there or start with one you know and get your hours done. They have to be signed off by the entity, someone authorized by that entity to sign off for that. It can't just be someone you know there. It has to be a supervisor authorized by that entity. But as I put all that in writing for you, and as long as you stick to the program and get it turned in on time, then I will zero out your balance. If you get to your due date and you're not done, come in and give me something. Give me what you've got. Give me a letter of explanation and ask for more time. Let me know what's going on and I'll try to work with you on it. Okay?
Okay,
How does that sound?
that sounds great.
Okay. Do you want us to email this to you and you can sign and send it back? Or do you want to swing by and do it here?
Do I need to sign it on my email and then send it to you?
Yes.
Okay, do I need to stay online to do that, or I can do it
No.
once I get? Okay, I can sign it and send it to you.
Okay.
You're gonna email it to me, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll email it
Uh-huh.
to you probably within the next hour or less.
Right.
Okay. So do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, I'll be in Friday to do that 144 for the defensive driving.
Perfect.
And she'll give me all the information about it, correct?
Yes, ma'am, she sure will. And if you have questions, just ask the clerk. And if the clerk can't answer, they'll put you into a meeting with me. Okay?
Okay, all right,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. You have a lovely day.
Thank you, Miss
Uh-huh.
Marie. You too. Like she said into resolution. Eugenia Abel. I'll
I'm
let
here.
you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I did receive the information that you submitted. I do have a case where a plea has already been entered, so the case went to warrant, so I'm not able to do like a driver safety course option. But what we do have now is a balance, and it's unpaid, and I'm showing that I should be ordering community service, I think. Well, let me look and see, actually. No, I have a way to do a low payment plan and maybe a reduction.
Okay.
Just give me one quick moment. Just a general announcement to folks, and I'm not picking on anyone in particular, but if you have had jail time, let me know. Okay. Sometimes I can use the jail time. All right. So let me know if you've had jail time. On Able, have we tried payments before?
I have a question.
Just one moment because I want to pay real quick.
Okay.
Okay. What is your question?
It, I'm hard of hearing, first
Oh,
off, and
okay.
it's so hard for me to hear. So I keep putting the phone up to my ear so I can hear. My question is does the jail time have to be in Bell County, or because I went to jail over another thing and I spent one night in jail.
Okay. Do you have proof of that? It doesn't have to be Bell County. What's easiest about Bell County is they let me look only at their record. So I don't
Okay.
have to go through as much, rigmarole to get proof.
What
But
would be the proof of it?
normally they discharge you and you get something.
I'm on PR bond out of Coryell County.
Okay. I just need proof that you were there.
Can I email something?
Yes. How do you have something that you know is going to show that you were in jail?
Yeah, would my PR bond paper prove that?
I'm not sure without looking at it. I'm certainly willing to look at it.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. Let me go ahead and order community service. And then if I get jail time information that allows me to give you credit, I'll do that credit and remove the community service. That way, you're not waiting in a warrant status.
Okay.
Because right now I've got a warrant
Right.
and I want to solve that warrant first. So 22 hours, okay, and the due date is September 28th. And are you in Coriel at this time?
Yes, I live in Coryell County. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need to email you the community service information. And
Okay.
Have you print it, sign it,
Okay.
and then either email it back or take a photo and send it back to us.
Okay.
And that'll get your warrant recalled. And then in the meantime, if you can get me something that shows jail time,
Okay.
and email it over, the clerk will get it to me and I'll review it. And if I can give you some credit, I will. Okay?
Okay.
How
Okay.
does that? That's a good plan, right?
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so we'll be emailing you that document here in a moment and we need it back from you today, okay?
Okay, I sure will. And I can go down to my local police department and see if, because they're the one that initially made the arrest, and then I went to the sheriff's office from there. So maybe they can give me something saying that they arrested me.
Oftentimes they will.
Okay.
Just something, it's usually the sheriff is gonna have proof, a record that you were in their facility.
Okay. So,
They have a record for sure of it.
okay. Well, I will get a hold of somebody seeing if I can get anything emailed to me. If not, then I'll go to Gatesville if I have to drive over there to get the paperwork.
Okay, you can probably get it from the sheriff. So
Okay.
get your signature on the document we send to you back
Okay.
to us today so I can get your warrant off, okay?
Okay. I
All
sure
right.
will. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Oh.
you, Ms. Abel. Yes, ma'am?
Can I take a picture of that and
Yes.
like print it off, take the picture of it and then email it back?
As long as I can read it, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Just make sure it isn't blurry.
Okay. And then about the fines, is that what we're community serviced over?
Yes, ma'am. That was an interesting verb. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
You have a
Ms.
wonderful day.
You too, ma'am.
How do I get out of here now?
I'll send you out. And so just Stacia Brown, let me have you unmute if you would.
You gotta take it up on me. I already did.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Brown, I can hear you. I did get your request for Teen Court. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm very well, thank you. I did get your request, and that's your mom there. Welcome, Mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So real quickly, though, I want to tell you, Teen Court isn't a problem, except this is one of those things where my first question is, first of all, where do you go to school?
I go to school at Temple High.
Okay. And this year, what will be your grade?
11/senior.
Okay. And so you're kind of early for graduating.
Yes, ma'am.
So my next question is, are you in the process of getting your license?
So I have my certificate, but since this COVID, my appointment is pushed all the way in September. In September, like my birthday, so I'll be like 17 by then. But I do have a certificate
Okay.
from the online class that I completed.
Okay. So when is your appointment to get your license?
September the 17th.
Okay. And I can delay you and you can bring it in and I can do a dismissal.
Yes, ma'am. So you just want me to take a picture or print it out of my certificate?
I would say no. I need the license. So I'm going to extend you to September
Okay.
28th. I'm going to extend you to September 28th.
Thank you.
And you're going to bring your license in before then so that
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can dismiss it.
Before the 28th?
Yes. And I just need your signature on the extension paperwork today to keep you on time.
And do I have to be with her? Because I'm at work right now.
I can email it to her and she can print it and y'all can sign it and get it to us today.
Okay, yes, ma'am. That'll work.
All right. So just Stacia, what you're going to do is look in your email inbox.
Yes, ma'am.
Get what we mail you. It's an extension. You print it and sign it. Mom does have to sign for you until you're 17. So I'll need her signature, but you get over there and get it to mom, and then you get it back to us. You can email it back, you can take a photo and email it back, or you can bring it by, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so much.
Thank you. All right,
Have a good day.
don't keep driving until you're allowed.
Yes, ma'am.
It's you're being very sweet and I appreciate your cooperation, but what I want to tell you is you're really in the worst group as far as death and dismemberment on the roadway. You're in the highest group. Wait till you're allowed to drive, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Warren, I see that you and Ms. Lewis have visited, and y'all can both unmute. I know there were a number of things to be looked at. I know it was probably a long process. So if you could bring me up to speed.
Yes, Your Honor. We are anticipating resolving these cases, but we need time. I have told Ms. Lewis that if it's not resolved by her next court date, she would need to appear.
Okay, so our next court date is not until our final pretrial of October 6th at 3. And Ms. Lewis will anticipate that either these are resolved by then or that you'll be here.
Yes, ma'am.
And so very good. Thank you, both of you. And that means, Ms. Lewis, you're good to go for today.
Great. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Warren, just moving forward then for you, your next person is actually Joe Lingo. Mr. Lingo, you're going to receive an invitation, and it'll pop up on your screen here in just a moment. And then Ms. Warren will meet with you in the other breakout room, okay? That should work. Okay, and then I'm moving forward with Nicholas Castillo. And Mr. Castillo, if you would unmute and let's talk about teen court. Are you still here? Good
Yes,
morning,
ma'am.
sir.
Good morning.
Where do you go to school?
Temple High School.
What grade will you be in this year?
I will be a senior.
Okay. And you have requested teen court on a speeding charge that has fines and costs of $254, and you entered a plea of guilty. Do I have the statements correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then, let's see. Great. So I can grant teen court. With teen court, there's a $20 dismissal fee, and we pay that up front. Can you pay that today?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
And with this one, we do a course. And it can be a course around town, or it can be a course online, but it would
I'm
be.
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Right, excuse me. So the $20 fee today, and then with this type of offense, I need a driver safety course from you quickly within 30 days by August 31st. And I will send you information for how to find a class. And I'm going to ask, you're going to have to come over to pay the $20 fee. How quickly can you safely get here?
I can do that today.
Okay, what time today?
Whenever this ends, I can head over.
Okay, so in the next half hour.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we'll give you all your teen court order. And I'm actually signing it right now. You'll sign it too. And then
Okay.
we'll have your deadline. And then we'll attach information about how to find a driver safety course so that you can get it done and turned in on time. You don't have to wait till the due date. You can turn it in early and be finished faster, okay?
Yes,
but as
ma'am.
long as you get it turned in on time, you'll get a dismissal, okay?
All right.
All right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Your next step is to come by the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll let you go and I'll see you in the lobby.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Santiago Rodriguez. Let me have you unmute while I pull your file.
Yes, ma'am.
And give me just 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fletcher, I think is phone number 919. We can just go 31 hours. Mr. Fletcher, if you can hear me, the clerk in the lobby will have your paperwork in just a moment, and they'll be able to give you all the information you need to sign up and get ready for community service. I already looked at the information you provided, and you do qualify for that process. I'm going to go ahead and remove you from the meeting so you can focus your attention, because I happen to know that you're in the lobby, and I don't want you to keep trying to get frustrated with the technology giving you hiccups. So just approach a clerk and let them know the judge told you your paperwork is almost ready. Okay. And so Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, we have 2 more cases. Let me just double check these because I did receive pleas for the speeding charge. You entered a plea of guilty, and do I understand that correctly? This is the speeding charge from December 3rd of 2019. And then there was a violation of the promise to appear. That is actually when you get your ticket, okay? What's on that ticket is a date, a court date, okay? And that date was missed. And so just the single charge was filed, the violation of promise to appear, and I show that you've entered a plea of guilty. I just want to confirm that that is your plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the next thing we're sorting out is payment options. Give me just a quick moment. Let me look at what you've submitted. You're
Yes,
working at Arco Bell, and your spouse is working at SEFCO. Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 children in the home.
Yes.
Small children,
Yes, ma'am.
young children. You're living with your mother-in-law.
Yes, ma'am. At the moment.
You have requested a payment plan of $250 a month. I'm actually showing that could present difficulty. I appreciate the request to do it, but I wouldn't want to set you up to fail. I can lower your payments to $50 a month, and then if you want to pay more, you can always pay more. And
Yes,
we can
ma'am.
do it like $25 every 2 weeks. And then if you want to get it done faster, we could do that. We don't charge interest or anything like that. It just means if you pay more, you get done faster.
Oh,
How
yes, ma'am.
How does that sound?
That sounds perfect. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Today, if we start, I would ask you to put down what you can put down. What can you put down to begin?
I could do 100.
Okay. And then what day of the week are you paid?
I'm paid every Thursday.
Okay. So we can start this week or next week. I don't have an opinion about that one. What would work best for you?
I could do next week.
Okay. So let me just pull up real quickly. Next week, starting August 5th, is
Yes, ma'am.
Thursday. You want to do it on Thursday or do it on Friday?
I'll do it Thursday.
Okay. 25 every 2 weeks, $100 today, 25 every 2 weeks, beginning August 5th. And I'm going to need you to come, I'm going to need your signature on this today, plus that
Yes, ma'am.
$100 payment. Do you want to come by the court? I see you're in Moody, or do you want to call it in and sign?
Okay. I could come by.
Okay, we'll
All
have
right.
that waiting at the front desk for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. All right, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You can head on over. You too.
Okay.
Mr. Claypas? I know that name in a bunch of different ways, so I've probably said it differently than what you're used to. How are you today, sir? Can't hear you. Let's see. I should be able to hear you, but I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And thank
Ma'am?
you. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You did request a $50 a month payment plan. I don't mind, but I actually show that I should be ordering community service.
Hold on 1 second. I'm having trouble hearing.
Yeah, you've got something else. You've got like a radio.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I turned it down.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
So I can do community service or $25 a month.
Yes, ma'am. Can we do $50 a month?
Sure. I can order $50 a month if you think that you could meet that demand.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I can recall your warrant today. Are you able to pay $50 today?
Yes, ma'am. Is there a number that I need to call or?
Yes, you can call the court. If you need me to give you that number, you have a pen, you can write it down. 254 298 5687.
All right.
Okay, I'll recall the warrant.
Thank you very much.
And then what we need is your signature on that payment plan. So I'll email that to you and just get it back to us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is there a time before it needs to be back to you?
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock? Yes, ma'am. I'll get
Okay.
it taken care of.
Thank
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too, sir. Okay, Ms. Warren, I see that you and Mr. Lingo have completed the conversation. And so if you would bring me up to speed, that would be great.
Yes, I anticipate an agreement, but Mr. Lingo does need to provide more information. So
Okay.
I've told him he must appear at his next hearing if the case is not resolved.
Okay, our next date is October 6th at 1 o'clock. Okay, Mr. Lingo?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can leave now?
Yes, you may. I'm removing. Mr. Morales is your next person. Michael Morales. Ms. Warren?
Okay.
Okay. And so, Mr. Morales, I'll send that invitation to you now. And just accept it and it will move you to that room. And I'll see you at the end. You'll come back. Thank you. And then I am working next with, let's see. I think I forgot to cross off Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Mendenhall. If you'll unmute Mr. Mendenhall.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm Judge Person. I wanted to look just quickly. Sorry, I forgot to scratch a few people off. That always gets me turned around. Mr. Mendenhall, I have two charges. One is from June 1st of 2021, the other May 7th of 2021. The May 7th charge is a possession of tobacco by a minor. It has fines and costs of $286. I did see that you've done teen court before, but I can still do it here because you've done it elsewhere. I'm still allowed to go ahead and do it. I could do teen court actually on both of these charges. My understanding, what I received for the tobacco charge was a plea of guilty. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then on the other charge, which is a possession of drug paraphernalia, a guilty plea. And is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're 15 today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that your dad with you?
Yes, ma'am. Legally, he is my dad, but biologically, he's my grandpa.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll work. Grandpa, Dad, what's your name?
Tony Mendenhall.
Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
So, Tony, I just want to hear from you. What's going on with your son?
Numerous problems.
I see that, but I'd like to help if I can and do that within teen court.
Okay. Tobacco, we've been working on this. The drug paraphernalia.
What drug are we talking about?
Marijuana.
Okay.
Marijuana. He was in possession of that particular piece of equipment, but it was unknown. It was not his. Not saying that he has not partaken of that material, but at that moment, that piece of paraphernalia was not his property.
Okay. The law probably isn't going to distinguish there.
But, yes, but it was in his possession.
But he did take responsibility, which is actually good. And
Yes.
With teen court, there's two fees of $20, so that would be $40. Is it possible to pay that today?
Yes, ma'am.
So right now, your total, Brady, is at $572. Okay, and Dad's not responsible for that. You are. So, and even though you're not working, I can leverage that and keep you from having a driver's license. Okay, until you pay it, and I can either make you work it off, or I can order something that might help you just coping with whatever's going on. I'm not hearing whether there's a problem here with you and these things. What I do know is that smoking will kill you. Okay. So the first thing I want is a tobacco class. And it's online, and you're going to have to ask Dad to help you pay for that class. But I would rather get the class paid for and get you some intervention than collect a bunch of money from you and have you just reoffend. Okay. And the other would be just give me one moment. I'm inclined to go with just a general decision-making type. Yes, a life skills class. Yes. So what I would want to do on the other, since there may be some use happening for you, however, you're taking responsibility for something you were holding. And to me, that just is about decision-making. And so I have a life skills class for that. And there'll be some information in there about drugs and alcohol and tobacco as well. But it'll be a bigger picture kind of class on that second charge. So there would be a class for each offense. And you would have to get those done pretty quickly by August 31st. And it's going to be a number of hours. I'll pull that and look at the number of hours in just a moment. But I want to see, what do you think about that approach? You turn in 2 classes, I dismiss your cases, and I waive $572.
I feel like that's a very good deal.
Pretty good deal. As long as you do it, it is.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll tell you that on the tobacco case, that law says if I even convict you. So if you fail teen court and I have to convict you, then I charge you the $286 and I still require a class because I'm required to. And if you don't do it, I either suspend your ability to get a license for 6 months or I suspend the license if you've gotten one by then for 6 months. And then your record reflects a suspension. Oftentimes, that suspension is a holding factor until you're 18 because DPS has strict rules about that. So you're better off just doing it now, okay, and getting that information. And I will tell you, I know it's a popular thing to think about doing, and I don't know how you can afford tobacco. It's awfully expensive. But I'll tell you, it's even more expensive than the cigarettes, right? Because paying for the treatment, paying for the cancer, paying for the emphysema. I've lost several family members to tobacco. I can speak to it very clearly. It kills you. It'll kill you. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you've got things happening that make you feel like that's acceptable, you know, and I'm not able to like court order addressing that. But I hope if you have things going on, that you can work with Dad and try to address what's going on. The life skills class will help you a little bit having that conversation. I always suggest families sit together. You take the class, y'all pause and have a discussion. Maybe it's time to open up some communication because I see Dad hanging in there with you. And honestly, lots of people show up and they don't have a parent. And I can tell by your face that you're a little embarrassed and you know you've let him down. I can see that. So one way to prove that you're serious about getting on the right side of this would just be to complete this. Okay, get it out of the way, learn what you can from it, save a bunch of money for you, for him if he was going to help you. But remember that he's not required to help you at all. He's just helping because he cares. So what I need today is the $40 and your signature on the document. And I'm going to actually have to ask y'all to come over to do that.
Yes,
Can we
ma'am.
do that? Can we do that today?
Yes.
How soon can y'all get here?
Will you have those classes or where to access those classes on that paper, on paper?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I never hold you to something I didn't tell you how to do. And I always have proof that I told you because I can't hold myself to it. So yes, you'll have everything in a packet. And it'll basically, I'm signing all your documents now, and it'll basically tell you, and then there'll be kind of a cheat sheet for how to find a class, what classes are due, and then there's a list of options, the classes to choose from. Okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so y'all's next step is you're heading over to sign off, make payment, and get all your documents. And then the step after that is knock those classes down. Have a discussion with Dad. I'll bet he has knowledge for you. I bet he can talk to you about the things that are giving you a hard time right now.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you're lucky to have somebody. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Folks, give me just a moment to finish this. Back on. For some reason, we're just missing a 6-hour button. And then the life skills. Everything you This is Miss Brown. And Ms. Warren, I know you and Mr. Morales had a discussion. If you could bring me up to date.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Morales did change his plea to no contest.
Okay.
He's a CDL holder, so I could not offer a deferred, but I did offer a reduction in fine to $100 fine.
Okay, $100 plus court costs?
Yes.
Hey, I'll do that here.
Okay.
Mr. Morales, give me a moment and I'll get that done. I don't want you to go online and try to pay it until I've gotten it done because it'll be the wrong number if we do it that way. So give me just a moment. Thank you. And Ms. Warren, your last person is actually Crystal Massington. And Ms. Massington, I'm sending, oh, she's not here anymore. Let's see. Ms. Holmes is not yours. Ms. Massington appears to have had a break in communication. Let's see. So if you'll hold tight just a moment, Ms. Warren, just in case she comes back.
Okay.
Let's give it 5 minutes. I unfortunately need to take a very quick break. Ms. Holmes, please begging your patience. I'll be right back. Begging your pardon. That reduction. Okay. All right, Mr. Morales, we started with a balance of 384. And actually, when we did that reduction, some other fees were also reduced, and that drops everything to 234. Okay. And do you know how to call the court and make payment? You could also come by.
Okay, and how
Sorry.
the payment plan, but how soon do y'all need the first payment?
So what we can do if you sign for it is just start with 30 days to make payment. Do you
Okay.
need longer? Do you need longer than 30 days? There's a fee that gets added.
Well, that's the whole thing is if I did it by credit card, they charge 18%.
Yes.
Okay.
Your company charges. We charge a fee that is charged by the credit card company.
Okay.
Are you local? Are you a local person?
No, ma'am. I live in Buda, Texas.
Okay. So we take checks, all right? And we don't charge fees for checks. I discourage money orders because money orders often result in getting lost and really difficult to get your money back on that. However, you can. I discourage cash in the mail because it tends to go missing. But if I have your signature today on 30 days to pay, we're good to go. Can you do that?
Yes.
We can email everything to you. You sign it and get it back to us before close of business today.
Yes.
And then you'll automatically have 30 days.
So y'all don't take personal checks or nothing, right?
Yes, that's what I said at the beginning.
Okay. Yeah.
Personal.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and get the signature today before y'all close.
And then you'll have that 30-day window. Okay.
Thank
and then
you.
if you wind up needing more time, just let us know and we'll work with you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Morales. And Ms. Massengale has made it back into the meeting. Ms. Massengale, you're actually up next. And I'm sending you an invitation to a breakout room 1. And you'll go ahead and click on that. You'll come back here. You'll come back here to meet with me at the end. Ms. Warren is going to meet you in that meeting room. Just accept the invitation. And then I am talking to, let me see, Mr. Fletcher, Daniels and Holmes. Ms. Holmes.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I have a request for a payment plan, but I had a question about the payment plan. You filled it out for us, and I see that you don't have like a job right now. That's fine.
No, ma'am.
But I saw food stamps and then there was other assistance, and that number was 7141.30. What is that representing?
That's the entity I use here in the community that help with my rental assistance.
I'm sorry, tell me again.
It's a community funded assistance that helps with rental assistance. So they're paying my rent for the rest of the year.
Okay, they pay your rent.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's the rent for the year, because that's a lot of money. And I thought, well, what is
Yes,
going on?
ma'am.
Sometimes people put their savings in there, and I don't necessarily understand what they're telling me. And I just wanted to make sure I understood that's not actually income to you. But I'm glad that you have the help. Obviously, something's going on where you need that. But I can do a payment plan of $25 per your request, but I could also order community service.
Okay, and how many hours of community service would it be?
It would be, let me just real quickly look. Now I have the one case, which is a speeding charge. There is also a pending charge. When is that pre-trial?
I know I have to do the one for my expired buyer's tag.
Okay, I didn't have it on the pre-trial. So you're next on the pre-trial list too.
Yes, ma'am.
On that buyer's tag issue. So on the community service for the speeding charge, that single charge would be 19 hours.
19 hours.
Yes. And then on the buyer's tags, I don't know what's happening with that case. If it added to this case, I think it adds 14 more hours. But right now, you've pled not guilty to that charge, and that's perfectly fine. Ms. Warren is going to visit with you about that, okay?
Okay, also, I have a question.
Yes.
I can't renew my ID because it's on hold. And my job is on hold as well because I have no way of identifying myself because both of them are expired and on hold. And my bank, when I went to deposit my check in the bank, they closed my banking account as well.
So what's kind of happening, and give me one moment, is Omni on both or just one? Yeah, that's next week. Okay, I'm gonna see if Ms. Warren would take her today. Okay, I've got information now. So
Yes,
right
ma'am.
now you have a warrant, okay?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
warrant, the warrant will keep both of things on hold. When I release
Okay.
the warrant, the ID will come off the hold process, but the license will stay until I can zero out your balance.
That's fine.
The way that you do that on the one charge is the community service hours get done. And on the other charge, you're scheduled for a pretrial next week, but I'm going to try to ask her to move that up to today. And we can try to
Okay.
get a resolution with that. Okay.
Okay.
Now I see that you're local and I need a signature today. You could come by and sign, or
Yes, ma'am.
or you could go ahead and, we can email it to you, you print it, sign it, and email it back. So either one.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
Okay, which would work best for you?
I can email it and send it back like I did the other forms.
Okay. Wait, let's wait for Ms. Warren to get through with Ms. Bassington, and then I'll ask if she can look at this other case with you. She'll probably be willing to do that, but I'm throwing her a curveball. So bear with us,
That's
okay?
fine. Thank you so much.
Okay. So 19 hours on that one. And then I would work with Demetria Daniels. If you could unmute.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I did receive the information you submitted, Ms. Daniels. Do you have video available?
Let's see.
It does help a bit.
Oh, there we go.
So thank you so much. I'm Judge Person. I received a plea of guilty on the speeding charge and a plea of guilty on the unrestrained child charge, both of which were July 2nd of 2021. And then I received your income information and I had some questions. But first, I'd like to confirm, were those your pleas today on those two charges?
Guilty, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I saw that you had bills but no income. Has that been your status for a little while? What's going on?
I had a job, but I lost my job. So my boyfriend's been helping me with my bills.
Okay. So you had requested $30 a month, and I could do that, or I could move it to a community service order, an order that you pay through the community service hours. If I did that, it would be 21 hours for both together combined.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be on my record, correct?
Yes.
Is there like a way where I can take like a class or something to get that removed? Well, so it won't be on my record?
Look and see if you're qualified to be in that program. Quick moment. So on the driving safety class option, you can do that, but you have to pay the court costs on the speeding, which are $144. And I would need to collect that. We'd have to set a date to do that. And I'd need license, insurance, and the $144. And then you'd have a window of 90 days to get your course and your driving record turned in on time to gain a dismissal. So we could do that still on the speeding charge if you wanted to do that.
I was thinking more of the other charge. That's the one that.
The unrestrained child charge is not going to affect your
Oh, okay.
the speeding will, or it's less likely to. The speeding for sure will. The seatbelt charge might or might not.
Okay. And you said that I would need my driver's license. Now, the thing about my driver's license, now I do have that. When the officer pulled me over, he stated that being that I no longer stay in Warden, Texas, because that's where I got my license, he said that I would have to get on like a website to change my address. And then, of course, I would need a hard copy of my driver's license because all I have is my identification card.
I don't have to have the hard copy. I just have to have proof of the license.
Oh, okay.
So I would need to know when you can pay the $144.
I can actually pay that today.
Okay. And you can present proof of insurance as well?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure where to go to give you some proof that I have. Well, I guess wouldn't my insurance work?
Yes.
Okay. For my drive, as proof as in I have driver's license? No.
It would prove that you have insurance.
I don't think that's gonna
I just need a copy of your license. And if it's a paper license, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't have anything besides driver's license number. So I don't think that option is gonna work.
Well, I can give you a little time. I could give you a couple weeks to get it.
Okay.
So 2 weeks from today is the 17th. It's not really, that's a little longer than 2 weeks. Yeah, that's okay. August 17th, I could give you till, you just need to sign for an extension. And then we'll look for proof of license, insurance, and the 144 then.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do an extension for driver safety course on that one by August 17th of 2021. And if I email that to you, can you email back a signed copy, or do you want to come by?
I can email it back to you.
Okay. And then we'll email you the community service information. There's one form you're emailing back with the signature on that. It's a waiver form. And that turns into the remaining case, 7 hours. Okay. And that'll just be due by August 31st.
Okay. Now, instead of doing community service on that one, can I just pay that bill?
Yes, you can. Do you need more than 30 days? It's $144.
I can actually pay that today.
Okay. That'll just take care of it and it'll be over with. Okay, so you can call that payment in, or you can come by and you can just email back the extension on the other case, the speeding. Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
You too. Just follow up and get your documents, okay?
Oh, excuse me. Before I leave, you said to come back in August 17th to get the documents, or do I need to get the documents today?
Today, you're getting an extension to get the documents August 17th. When you do that, you're probably going to come by and do that.
Got it.
I'll email you the extension form, and I need it back today, or you're going to disqualify.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
I circled what she finally decided. Ms. Holmes, we're still with you, waiting on Ms. Warren, who will always take due diligence. So let's just Give her some time.
Yes, ma'am, I'm still here.
I have a few no-shows, less than we started out with. I will be here, Ms. Holmes. I'm just going to work on documents while we sit here. Mr. Hernandez, he wanted another payment plan. He didn't show up. He can set up a payment plan at $50 a month if he gets to the window before the warrant gets issued. I had questions about his payment application, so I'm not going to set anything. Peyton London, he can do team court with $20 plus a class, but he's a no-show today. So he'd have to get to us before we get to him in the warrant process. I see Neil, this is just paperwork. I reviewed income and all that. So just a no-show. That Cerna law firm has that case, Yvonne Rance Roca. Ms. Warren, you have been visiting with Ms. Massington, and I wondered if you could bring me up to speed.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Massington has 4 violations. 2 occurred on April 24th and then 2 on May 7th. She is now entering a plea of no contest on all 4.
Okay,
And I am offering deferred
okay,
120 days. She's requesting community service. On the 2 no insurance charges, she is to show 6 months worth of insurance in 30 days. I'll give her 30 days to provide that proof.
okay. And I actually had reviewed, and she is qualified for community service order. And so I will add that to the mix. I did have a question or a request for you, Ms. Warren. And hold on, let me get the clerks working. So all 4 cases, no contest. This is on Massington. Proof of insurance, 6 months worth of insurance by August 31st. Yes, 55 hours of community service total, no later than October 28th. Let's give her a big ample window to get that. Okay. Okay, Ms. Massington, I'm gonna work with you further. Just give me a moment to get your paperwork pulled together, okay? Ms. Warren, I'm gonna say the first name incorrectly, but Taiwaneka Holmes is here, and she had a not guilty on 1 charge, and then she had a guilty on another charge. And for some reason, she was set on the contested docket, my docket for today, and the pretrial for next week. I told her I would ask, she's deeply having some difficulty because she's trying to get her license back, and we have holds. And so I've already qualified her for community service on the speeding charge, but I wondered if you might at least take a precursory look at the expired buyer's tag charges and maybe have a discussion with her today. I told her I would ask you that she wasn't scheduled for today. I'm not sure that you could complete, a review, but that you might be willing to take a look at it with her today.
Okay, can I have the ticket number?
Yes, ma'am. CVA 185 6533
Okay.
dash 5062 -0.
Okay,
It's an expired buyer's tag charge.
got you. Okay, I'll talk to her.
Okay, Ms. Holmes, you're going to receive an invitation to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Warren. So, Ms. Holmes, you should have an invitation. There you go. And Ms. Massington, we're working on your final order. And then the question I have for you is, I'm going to need your signature today on several documents. I can email these to you if you can print them and email them back. Will that work?
No, I'll go up there before 4 o'clock.
Perfect. Okay, we'll do that.
You been okay? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. You doing well?
It's been a while. I promised myself I wasn't coming back.
Well, we'll just work with you how we find it. Okay.
Thank you.
So, are you all right? You look like you don't feel well.
No, I'm fighting for my son up under a false affidavit. So I'm under federal hold right now. So it's a lot on my mind.
Okay, yes.
But I know now not to get in cars without any insurance that don't belong to me.
Yes, ma'am. So you'll come by before 4 and sign your documents? Okay. We'll
Yes,
have it all at
ma'am.
the front. We'll have it at the front desk here.
Oh.
Yeah, we're-
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Massington. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
You hang in there.
I will.
Okay. She does. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Yes. I have a question when you have a moment, but it's not urgent. Thank you. Thank you for dividing this up.
I was like,
Good job. Thank you. I'm reviewing the Yvonne Reyes Roca case. Yvonne Reyes Roca is on the pretrial, and the Cerna law firm came in on that. The lawyer fax says they sent us 2 pages, but we only have 1 in the file. They said they'll send it by first class mail, but we don't have anything. You left a message with them July 8th of 2021 waiting for an email. Then you sent an email Did we get a call back and they gave us that email? Or did we use their website? Well, I guess I'm gonna say they're officially a no-show, but call them and see if they have an explanation. And, you don't have to fill that in for them. Just say, the judge wanted me to informally call and see if you have an explanation as to why you didn't show up. And we don't have all your documents that they've sent. We don't know what they're trying to do. They sent 1 page of 2. It's a rocky start. That's Ms. Holmes, were you visiting with Ms. Warren? Because she still thinks she's still in the other room.
Me?
Sorry?
I can't hear her. Why can't I hear anything?
Here she is. She's back in this room. I don't know. Ms. Holmes, can you hear us?
I hear you now. It
Okay.
finally connected.
Okay. Ms. Warren is here as well. Do we have
Okay,
any?
so
Yes.
yes, Your Honor, she has changed her plea to no contest
Okay.
and has requested that the fine be added to her community service.
Yes, I can do that. So it's a total of 33 hours, including both cases. And our due date is not until September 28th. And we're emailing all that to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Warren.
And Ms. Warren, thank you for your time today. Thanks for working that in.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You too, ma'am.